Hello Scorpio, welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. If you're new, welcome. This is a general collective reading for your sign. This will be for the month of June. Let's have a look and see what's coming in for you. Just to highlight a very few points that are occurring during the month. We are currently in Mercury retrograde. This will be in action in Gemini until the 22nd of June, and even then there will be a slight drag afterwards as well. So this affects all forms of communication. It's staying in Gemini for the entire period, so everything written, verbal, online, documents, contracts, all forms of communication will be highlighted, and possibly even communications with certain family members as well. And this is actually not the best time to be launching things or taking big actions or purchasing big things or things that are really important. It's a better time to just wait and go over everything with a fine-tooth comb before you go ahead, review everything very, very carefully. Check for any miscommunications, misunderstandings, anything that's been overlooked. Everything basically needs to be gone over with a fine-tooth comb. All your contract documents, also back up your technology, and just be very careful, with your communications at that time. It really is the purpose of it is a period of introspection, to go over, to look at everything again very carefully with a magnifying glass, whatever it may be related to for you in Gemini. So going over everything very carefully again, but it's also very introspective. You learn a lot during that period. Your emotions and your focus is very much inward, and everything slows down, and there's quite a lot of intensity. But it is, as I said, a very good opportunity to go over things again, or to refine something. So anything with a re in front of it, so reinvent, refine, recreate, review, redo, repeat, in some cases relocate. So you get the picture with that. You might get somebody or a situation sort of popping back into your life from the past. This can sometimes be a very helpful thing, because it gives you closure, or you may just get an insight, a valuable bit of information gets delivered to you, or during the conversation, or something related to it just pops back to give you an insight. We also have new moon solar eclipse. This is happening also in Gemini on the 10th of June. New moon is always about some sort of clean slate coming in. And so it's a new beginning, but there's also potentials and dreams there. But it comes with a change, because it's with the eclipse, the solar eclipse. So the solar eclipse will force you into the present moment. It's all about self-mastery, mastery of change. How are you going to master it? When the change comes up, what are you going to do? How are you going to tackle it? What is your attitude going to be towards the change? So being a Scorpio, you don't necessarily like change. You like things, you're a fixed sign. So any sort of change or upheaval can be quite unsettling for you. But as I said, it's all about self-mastery, your attitude towards it, your optimism, your ability to handle the situation, to go with what needs to be done, even though it may be feeling uncomfortable for you. Because on the other side of that, once you've been through that, then you can move ahead. And quite often it gives you a really good opportunity to fix change or create something better than what you had before. So it's a good opportunity to dive in to sort that out, but it can be a bit of an upheaval. In some cases, it can be a complete change of direction in certain things. This can be relationships, or it can be to do with professions, or it can be to do like a home change, like a relocation. So all of these may be tied up together, but it's your ability to handle the change really that is most important with this entire thing. Your willingness to approach it. We also have the North Node in Gemini, so there's a lot of activity in Gemini, a lot of focus on that, and that's generally to do with all forms of communication, as I said, contracts, documents, electronics, internet, research, learning, exchanging of ideas, walking your talk, communications with family members, certain family members, and just weighing things up, decisions, media, grasping of information, all of that can come in. And in some cases, short journeys and things to do with your vehicles, Then we also have, which I think is going to be important for you, we've got Saturn and Uranus. They're going to be having a square sort of square off towards each other. This will be happening on the 13th of June. Saturn is retrograde now, and it's in Aquarius, which is also a fixed sign. And Uranus is in Taurus, also a fixed sign. Saturn in Aquarius is always going to be about issues to do with discipline and structure, systems and foundations. Time also comes in, and karma may come in as well. That's Saturn. And in Aquarius, it's always going to be to do with the future, technology, and even friendships may come in. Also global consciousness, group consciousness, and social reform, things like that. Glimpses of the future in some way, shape or form. And Uranus is the god of change. It's about deconditioning. It can be liberation in some aspects. So Uranus is always expect the unexpected. So now it's going to be in Taurus, again, an earthy, very grounded sign, doesn't like lots of changes, practical and so on. And Uranus is already going to cause a bit of a rumble there. So you've got the urge to discipline, structure and systems, and if it's taken too far with Saturn, it can be oppression. And then you've got Uranus, which wants only change and to mix things up, and futuristic concepts. So there's somewhere along the line that's going to come in for you. Then for some relief from that, if things do pop up, then we've got Jupiter in Pisces. Jupiter is going to expand all the wonderful qualities of Pisces. So it's about healing and transcendence, overcoming, and spiritual connection, all of those wonderful qualities. And also spirituality will be highlighted, your dream life will be highlighted, connection with the divine. So this could be in the form of like channeling or working with spirituality, but also it can be in the form of dream life. And it can also be to do with healing, actually healing yourself, but maybe with others, it's service to others. That's Pisces. And it can also be the other side of it, which can bring in a little bit of overwhelm, and maybe a bit of confusion. Boundaries may need to come in. But Jupiter's going to expand. But Jupiter normally brings in luck, opportunities, expansion, and growth. Okay, so all of those aspects are going to come in. And also with Pisces, it's a wonderful for anybody who is artistic or creative or imaginative and uses those skills in what they do, because it's going to be heightened with Jupiter. Okay, so let's see what we've got for you coming up. We also do have Venus and Mars. They're going to be in Cancer, not close together, but they're going to be in Cancer, which is harmonious to Scorpio, from 3 to 12 June. And then they will be to sort of moving together again in Leo, which will be a bit of a challenge for you. It's going to stimulate a few things, but they will be together and they're going to have a conjunction in Leo. But that will start from the 28th of June. So that's big news for the masculine and feminine energies. Okay, let's see what we've got for you. We've got 8th house. That's your normal house. Your Scorpio rules that house. 1st house. And we've got 6th house. So cycles. Your 1st house is your body, and then 6th house is your day-to-day routines to do with your work, and also your health and your diet and your well-being. Also pets, if that's appropriate for you. Okay, so we've got Uranus. As I said, Uranus is definitely going to feature for you guys. That's coming in. The energy is coming in for you in your 8th house. This is a collective energy, obviously. Then we've got Venus coming in for the 1st house. And we've got Grand Cross coming in for your 6th house. So quite a few challenges going on with your work life. We've got Void of Course Moon missing, which is also could be a period of delays or putting things off until this energy has passed. It's more of a dreaming and a planning energy than a doing energy. Let's get Goddess card. Mary Magdalene, Unconditional Love. Freya, bold. Bust, independent. Okay. Bottom of the goddess deck is Sikh, quiet time. So you're going to need to balance your energies. I feel that's why you've got the sixth house. You've got a lot of activity going on there. And there's this urge for independence, but you're going to need to balance it with time where you can just be, meditation, yoga, whatever it is that you like to do. Let's get a fairy tarot. The Chariot, wow, it's good energy, fast-moving energy. And we've got Queen of Autumn. Great, that's wonderful for abundance. Okay, let's get a Destiny card for you. Spontaneity, okay. That might be hard for you, being a Scorpio, but certainly with the Uranus energy coming in, that might very well be the case. Right, so we've got some very positive energy, and then we've got things that you need to work with. Okay, so let's see here. We've got here 8th house. So as I said, this house is normally associated with Scorpio. So this is endings and beginnings, cycles. So this can be cycle shifts. So ending of one cycle, beginning of another, or the ending of one chapter and the beginning of a new one. It can be related to a number of things. It could also be you finishing something and then starting something new, whatever is applying to you. 8th house is usually to do with the nuts and bolts of a committed partnership or relationship. So the partnership can be business, or the relationship can be obviously a love relationship, a commitment. This is a committed relationship. This is not a love affair. This is something that's where you are committed to one another and you have something in place. And this is the nuts and bolts of how that's going to come together, emotionally, materially, and so on. It's the nuts and bolts, how's it going to fit together. It's also about handling other people's resources. So this may be either your person or family members, or it may be a profession for you. This is also the house of finance, big finance. So this is to do with banking, accounting, investments, assets, insurances, tax comes in with this, and also anything to do with setting up a legacy, or receiving a legacy, or setting up a legacy, or inheritance, if that's the case. Overall, it's normally to do with, symbolically, with death. It can be a physical death, hence the inheritance issue coming in, but it's normally a symbolic death. Now, this can usually be to do with ego. So this is, especially if you're coming together in a relationship with somebody and you're putting the nuts and bolts of it together, sometimes you have to go through an ego death in order to go about that ethically, and to create something good between you. But it can also be tackling various other types of issues around money and so on. It is also about birth, and this can be physical birth, but it's quite often associated with birthing something. So hence you have the endings and the beginnings, the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. So you will be birthing. It can be regeneration and renewal. So this is like the phoenix rising up, or it could be to do with health, or it could be to do with some other aspect, perhaps a business side or something else that's going on, regeneration or renewal. So if you are already in a committed relationship, then this can be the regeneration and renewal of that. So hence letting go of the past and bringing new things in. So all of these aspects come in, but for some of you it may just be purely finance, and others it may be related to the relationship or partnership side, but it can also be bringing in aspects to do with your psychic abilities or your psychic intuitions about things. They could really be enhanced at this time, especially with Uranus there. Uranus can activate that. So it's obviously about the genius within, and this can manifest in lots of different ways. So we have, as I said, we've got Uranus here. We've also got Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. So if this is to do with relationship issues, then necessarily it may be, or partnership, it may be to do with that. You know, the how you're going to put it all together, seeing and hearing things, and the money side of it, and how it's all going to work, and perhaps even dealing with other people's money. You know, there's various aspects that can come in. Now with Uranus coming in, this is saying that expect the unexpected with this. So something could be coming in to do with the finances, or the relationship, or the partnership, or it could be some other something else that comes up, or it could just be you receiving a download or some kind of vital information which helps you to move forward. This can be a leap in consciousness. Okay, you could also be seeing aspects financially which you can then use to help others, but just make sure that it's coming from the right place. Okay, unconditional love. Unconditional love is giving love out to others and not expecting anything back in return. So this is about possibly humanitarian things, or dealing with things, or helping others, or helping your person, or others that you may be managing finance for, various ones, doing it in a way which is comes from a good solid base. You know, it could also be just assisting your person with various things, or you could be seeing your person going through the 8th house, ending of a chapter and the beginning of a new one, or some sort of ego death and so on. And you may just be seeing that. Love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. So this could be related to your profession. You know, you could be seeing various things going on. Uranus genius is very much about breaking free from something. It can be liberation from something. It can also be a leap of consciousness, as I say, or it could be access to technology of some kind. This can be advanced tech. It can also be rebellion coming in, you know, just feeling restricted and wanting to break free from that. But it is all about change. Uranus brings that in, and it can be very swift. It can be like a bolt of lightning. As I said, it could be a download, a consciousness download, or seeing something like a realization or a perception shift, just understanding something really deeply at this time. And as I said, Mary Magdalene, come back to unconditional love. Obviously, if it's within your profession, then make sure that everything is above board. But it's saying love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. So try and do your best to come back to that energy, and let it govern your interactions here. Now we've got here the 1st house. So this is to do with your physical body, your actual physical body, but it can also be to do with your life force, your chi, your what you're radiating, your energy levels, just your basic demeanor, what other people see when they meet you or when they come in contact with you. What are you projecting outwards to them? What are they picking up from you? It can also be your personality, your characteristics, things like that. But it's everything to do with the self, your appearance, your physical body, your characteristics, and also to do with your own personal interests at this time. So now you have got Bast independent here. So it could be that you have your own set of interests and things that you like to get on with. And if you are entering a relationship or you're in a relationship, it's a good idea to maintain those, to keep them up, because it keeps you whole and interested in your own things. And it just brings freshness and energy into your life. So all of these aspects, it's also about how you meet things in your life, how you move forward into your experiences, what sort of, how are you setting sail on your boat, how are you navigating. It's what you're projecting out into the world. It governs your first house. And obviously what affects you in your physical self is going to affect any relationship that you're in, because the two are, your person that you're with is a reflection. So, those two are always going to be in this, combined. Now we have got here Venus love. So we have got love here for you. Love is here for you. And it can also be, if you're not in a partnership, it can also be to do with self-love. So this can be pouring what you would normally pour into a relationship, or to your best friend, or to your whatever else that you've got going for you. Bring it back into yourself as well, because then you fill your cup up and then you can give to others. You can't come from a cup that's empty. You just won't be able to give. What it will end up being is being more like a resentful martyr type situation. You don't want to go into that. So fill up your cup. Make sure that your cup is full, and then you can share it with others. Venus is all about love, obviously, or all the many expressions of love, but it is expressions of love for others, but also for yourself. And it can also be to do with beauty and refinement. So this could very well be indicating that a makeover is required on a simple basis. That's exactly what it can be. Making over yourself, so changing the way you're dressing, or perhaps getting a new haircut, or just changing something about your external self. And also just remember, whatever love you're giving to yourself is so within, so without. So whatever you are giving yourself within, it will reflect outwards, and that is what you will project outwards to others. So love yourself, and then others will pick up on that as well. It can also be about refinement of some sort. So it could be that you are understanding certain issues about the love of yourself, and also how you can share it with others, what you're projecting to others, what others are going to pick up, how are they going to pick it up, what are they seeing. And everything around that. It can also be all kinds of things related to the beauty industry maybe coming up for you. It's also about, handcrafts, things like that may come in. Maybe it's a hobby of yours, an interest of yours, something that you can actually, enjoy, but actually perhaps expand in some way, or use it to help you relax. Anything that is creative and beautiful, and something that you can get involved in, and something that is going to enhance, your it's a hobby or an interest of yours. It can also be about a windfall. Maybe a windfall is coming in for you, and if that's the case, then make sure you spend something on yourself. Give back to yourself, whether it's in clothing, or a makeover, or a nice massage, or a spa day, whatever it is. Make sure you love yourself first with this, and then you can give to another. There is some spontaneity here, as I said. So with Freya, bold, I feel that this is going to be the situation. Use a little bit of the spontaneous energy, and give back to yourself, and then surprise perhaps your person, if that's what you want to do, or if you're in a relationship. It's about, doing things without premeditation, just doing it because it feels good and it feels right and it's enjoyable, and it's going to be good for you to do that for yourself. Freya is saying, bold, unleash your adventurous side, take risks and be daring. So this is very much about your first house, how you're navigating, how you're moving forward into experiences in your life. How are you setting sail? How are you navigating? What are you projecting to others? What are they going to see? What energy are they going to pick up? What is your demeanor? All of these things. So this could very well be you are trying to attract love into your life. But as I said, remember, you must come from a full cup. Give to yourself first, then you can share it. So it could be that you just need to be a little bit more adventurous. Perhaps try different activities, change your look. It can also be just flirting. Freya can be very much about flirting, being a bit more vivacious, being a bit more outgoing, or just talking about your interests and your hobbies to another person, getting involved in a group that focuses on that. So take risks and be daring. That's what she's saying. Now we have got here 6th house. So 6th house is everything to do with your work life, your workplace, your work routines, your work projects. If you don't go to a workplace, then this will be whatever it is that you do in your particular workplace, whether it's at home or you've got your own small office or whatever the situation is. And it's all routines around that. It can also be to do with your health and your diet and your well-being. So you've got the first house here, so it could very well be that you need to just give your diet a bit of a look over, or a tweak or a check, because you have got Venus here and you've got your first house. Venus does love sweet things, so be careful with that, okay? Be careful that you're not overdoing it and actually setting up a problem for yourself down the line, all right? So you will know whatever triggers you, or it is an aggravation or some sort of problem for you, then it could very well be linked to sugar or too much. So anything to do with that may be coming, but it's also about your actual demeanor. Again, your well-being, your life force. If your life force is good and your well-being is high, then that is what you will project, and that is what you will put into your work life, into your home life, into your relationships, and so on. As I said, in some cases it can be pets if pets are appropriate for you. Because you've got Bast independent and she is very cat-like, it may be that you need to get a cat. They're wonderful companions, and you can, they fill a little place in your heart that just doesn't get filled any other way. So it could be that you perhaps need to bring a cat into your life and observe how independent they are, how their kind of energy, how they manage their energy. It's really quite a fascinating thing. So everything to do with your work and your home and your diet and your well-being, also keeping balance there, all right? So don't burn the candle at both ends where you are, working long hours and then you've got almost no time to rest and recuperate at home, because you have got quiet time here. So it certainly is an issue. We have also got Grand Cross Provoker, so you're going to be very busy with this energy. So you could be handling multiple tasks, multiple things, or you could be busy trying to do something, and you've just got a lot of priorities around those many issues, or it could be one issue that you're trying to manage, and it could be a lot of multitasking going on. In some cases it can be juggling. As long as you're moving forward while you're juggling, that's fine, but if you're standing still, then you're going to get frustrated. So this can bring in, it's a very strong energy, very strong energy, which can lead to things like frustration, or many deadlines or pressures, lots of pressure coming down on you. And it could also be that you no sooner solve one thing than something else comes to replace it. So it's like having multiple things, deadlines coming at you and so on. All of these energies pouring in on you, what it does is it is actually a catalyst for change. So as I said, with the Uranus energy and being a fixed sign, that will be a challenge for you. So it could be that you may be managing multiple changes, managing multiple things which are going to bring in change. Take it as it resonates for your particular situation. But it can be that you could really get very frustrated, lose your temper, or just get overwhelmed. So the very best way to handle this energy is to prioritize, have a list that even if it changes daily or however often you need to change it, as soon as you've completed the top thing on the list or the top 3 priorities, then you cross them off and you move down to the next and so on. And if you have to update it regularly, well, then you do that. It's about time management, making sure that you have time for everything that you need, for your family, for your home, for yourself, most importantly, to rest and recuperate. You've got to plan it in. You've actually got to give yourself that time, and that is part of self-love as well. And put aside time allocate time properly, and also to cooperate and to work with others, to cooperate in a way which is harmonious with others, because that will help to move the project along, or whatever it is that you are doing. So it really is juggling, a lot of juggling, but it's about managing so that it all gets done. And it can bring up a lot of what it will do is it will create a lot of inner strength in you, because once you've got this sussed, then there's really nothing much you can't handle as you go on in your life, because this is like a very steep learning curve. But it really is a wonderful opportunity to learn to handle lots of different things or lots of pressure, and as long as you do what I've suggested, then you will come out on top, because what you create under this will be very, very good for you going forward. But as I said, it's a catalyst for change, so there's going to be things occurring that need to be sorted out and addressed. So as I said here, with certain things, we've got Queen of Autumn. It says here, be practical with respect to how you proceed. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. Okay, so with the Venus, as I said, the ability to make anything more beautiful. Venus can bring this quality in. So whether it's for yourself, making yourself, like a makeover, or changing your look, or just the way you do things. It could be to help you with public speaking, or it could be to help you with your business, if it's a beauty business or related to that in some way, hairdressing or whatever it may be. So as I said, Venus covers a great many things. It's love, beauty and refinement. All of these things come in. And that could be that you're meeting somebody who can assist you at this time to make your dreams come true, or to help some aspect, to assist you with some aspect. This person will exhibit generosity. They're stylish, gracious, and practical. But it could also be that you need to exhibit these qualities within yourself. So generosity, being stylish, gracious, and practical. And certainly with the Grand Cross provoker coming into your sixth house, it's very much required that you need to be practical. And so that's why I said it's all about time management, prioritizing, and working with others as well. Your communication with others needs to be good. So see if you can bring those qualities in, or it could be that you come across somebody who is exhibiting these qualities. Could be somebody you work with, or somebody that you consult to help you to improve your image, or whatever the situation may be. Now, with regard to your sixth house, you've got bust independence. So your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. So as I said, for some of you, getting a cat or observing cats or being around cats may help you. But it is also about, as I said, something to do with perhaps it's your hobbies and your interests. If you are in a relationship, sometimes they fall away because there's so many other things going on, and you obviously want to spend time with your person. But it's important to maintain your own hobbies, your own interests, also your own opinions, your own ideas. And in some cases, it could be to do with how you do things, whether it's in a relationship or whether, so your home and your diet and your health and your well-being, your lifestyle, maintaining your own. You don't have to be exclusive of the other person, but there are some things that you need to maintain for yourself. So your yoga routine, or your regular visit to your hairdresser, or whatever the situation may be. And it can also be to do, obviously, with your work. It could be that you need to think about, how you can work from home, or how you can be more independent in the work projects that you do. It could also be just working with others, but being independent in your thought, or your input, or your ideas. Or it could be that you are working independently within a group. So just take it as it resonates. It could also be just that you need to allocate time, as I said before, allocate time for yourself to go out and enjoy yourself, whether it's a spa day, or an activity that you like to do, a sport, or whatever it is. Allocate time for yourself, because that helps you to listen to your own inner guidance, and it just gives you time away, and you're doing something that you enjoy, something that's good for you, and it just enhances any relationships as well, because now you have an additional interest. You have access to other people, other situations, other environments, whether it's in nature or whatever the situation is for you. So your independence is a foundation for your strength and success, but it could actually just be your own way of doing things, or your own ideas, or your own diet. There's no one size fits all. Everybody's unique, so just apply it as it resonates there for you. But you are going to need to balance certain situations here, because you have got sich, quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. So as I said, that does come up for you. It's coming up in your health and your diet and your well-being, your lifestyle. You're going to have a very busy period. And there could be lots of opinions, lots of things going on, but you do need to make sure that you do have quiet time in order to just process, but also to give back to yourself. So schedule it in, make sure you prioritize it in, where you can just sit and be by yourself, and where you can actually think about what it is you want to do, your decisions, your planning, how you're going to move forward, whatever it may be. But it can also just be quiet time to meditate, where you are just alone in your own thoughts and so on. So it doesn't, as I said, it doesn't have to be exclusive to your partner or to your family or whatever the situation. It just needs to be something that you schedule in, and they all know that that is your time to go off. And even if you leave the house or whatever and go into nature, that's your time. You're going to need that to balance this Grand Cross energy, and as I said, to give back to yourself. That's part of your self-care and your self-love. There is a tying in with this. It says your void of course moon missing. So with the Grand Cross provoker, sometimes there can be frustrations, or like things happening which it's just not working because you've got multiple priorities and you're trying to get it all done. So what this can sometimes indicate, especially for void of course moon, is that there is a period where you just need to it normally doesn't cover longer than about a week with this energy. It's not a long-term energy. This is when the moon changes signs, which is not a very long period. It goes into like a shadow period. And what that means is that things are not what they seem under that situation. So whether this is affecting your relationships because you have Mary Magdalene unconditional love here, or whatever the situation is, it's just saying that there may be a period during this June month that you can just take some time to just pull back, just continue with your normal routine, do what you would normally do, and focus on rather planning and dreaming and rest and recovery. So that's why I say it goes with this seek quiet time. So when you are in your quiet times, when you've scheduled it in and you're now doing it, then take advantage of this to actually it's about dreaming, it's about planning, it's rest and recovery. And it's also not putting your energy, your fierce energy, your strong warrior energy into something which you really want to manifest, because under this particular influence, it may go wrong, or you may not get the result you want, or you may not get a result at all. So it's actually just a time to just sail on, do what you would normally do, and wait for the energies to shift. So as I said, it may be with you the entire month, or it could only be a portion of it. But you will know, I feel you will know, because you will feel tired and you will want to just retreat and just do more planning and imagining things. It's saying that there are things moving in the background which you are not aware of. So you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. You don't have everything in place. Just wait for this energy to shift, because things will become clearer once the moon moves into its new sign. Then things become clearer. You have actually got here the Chariot. So 7 may be important for you. Maybe it's 7 days, 7 weeks, or it could even be the 7th month. Just see, how it plays out for you. But it can also be right place, right time. 7 can mean that. So success that comes from dedication and self-discipline. Celebrating your accomplishments, being in the spotlight. So with your, as I said, with your work routines here, if you're on a work project, it's saying that with the Grand Cross, this is really going to test your self-discipline, as I said, and your dedication. That's what it's going to do. And that's what it's saying. So take heed of this action. Prioritize your time. Prioritize what needs to be done. Manage your time, and communicate properly with others about what needs to be done. There may be frustrations. The energy will be intense. And you want to, as I said, you want to be moving forward while you're juggling, not stuck on the same spot over and over. So once you get through this energy, and you are perhaps even, you may even need to spend some time at home, or allocate time to work quietly on your own to achieve what needs to be done. But success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, which is what this is about. Celebrating your accomplishments, and being in the spotlight. So I do feel that this may be to do with the Venus love of yourself, and being adventurous, and take risks and be daring. So it could be that you need to celebrate with something like a makeover or a spa day, or go on a nice adventure, take a break, go on a nice adventure, give back to yourself. It's like celebrating your own success. You must celebrate your own success. It could also be that you are in the spotlight, or you will be in the spotlight once you've been through this process, because of the work that you've done. This takes a lot of skill. Managing this Chariot, because it's fast moving, and there's a lot of energy that needs to be controlled and guided and steered. So there's a lot of control, a lot of self-control, discipline, and so on. So once you've been through that period, and it's, you've reached the successful conclusion, then make sure that you take a break to enjoy and celebrate your success. Okay, Scorpio, hope you enjoyed that. Please take care. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. Have a wonderful month, and I will see you next time.